Yo, good morning, good morning. Gonna get started here in just a few minutes. Guys, do me a favor and send this link out to anyone who you may think could benefit from this call, from the information from this channel. Go ahead and drop a link for them. Really helps the channel when we get lots of viewers in here. Charts are looking pretty nice. Hey, good morning, good morning. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here in just a few minutes. All right? Happy Monday, everyone. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, guys. You guys already know every single Monday, Tuesday, every first session of the week, I try to wipe out my chart so that way we could all be on the same page. You guys can see the way that I mark up. I believe, and I mention this a lot, and I'm going to continue to mention it, and it is, if you guys have to pick 1 or 2 sessions out of the week that you have to make it to, and not all, I would always say don't miss Monday, Tuesday, because I set up my whole weekly analysis, right? I set up the whole weekly analysis Monday, Tuesday. So if you guys could make sure that Monday, Tuesdays are the one days that you guys don't miss. Promise you it's going to help you a lot. And yeah, guys, let's dive right into it, okay? Every chart's going to be wiped clean. So, as seen this being my previous low, my newest high, that is currently my range. On the monthly perspective, I don't really have much of objectives. It would have been that previous monthly high, and obviously we already took that. I don't want to see higher price action yet. It may take some time. So one thing I will know is this gap right here. Okay, nice little gap right there. There's a couple other gaps that I'll know as we move down. No time frames. Here we have that gap there. Then we also, I think it was one on the monthly over here. I'm gonna mark this one out. I know it's probably kind of insignificantly small, but there's another one right here. I'm just gonna mark these two out since they're currently the most relevant ones in my eyes for this week. So then you have a whole weekly range, 50% and below. You have this insufficiency here. And really every insufficiency up that from that 50% and below is relevant to me, including this previous weekly low. This previous weekly imbalance, which honestly I'm just gonna mark out as an orange line here as a previous weekly low. Okay, if I had to say, I don't like to set my weekly objectives on bank holidays, so I won't be setting a weekly objective today. But this is basically how I lay it out, right? Like I'm within my area, and within that trading range, I acknowledge and mark everything out, right? And I mark everything out in that range, right? So right now we're in premium, and so the premium range is really all I really care about. Now, why is it okay for me to mark out the range? Why didn't I mark it out any other time besides this one? And it's because the weekly range is completed once the daily begins to distribute. And as you guys can see here, the daily is distributing. So that's why my range currently on the weekly is this large range right here. Okay, so all of these things are part of my analysis and things that I'm going to keep looking for in regards to targets. But as of right now, yeah, you got another imbalance here as well. Lots of insufficiencies. So as of right now, I'm not going to set a weekly objective, even though that previous weekly low does look very attractive. I just don't set weekly objectives on Mondays. But always on the weekly, if I was to set a weekly objective, I'd be looking in which direction the market is printing. And I never look at the currently open candle. That's something I don't do. We don't look at the currently open candle. We only look at fully closed candles. And you can see this previous one is attempting to go down. I'm not saying that this previous one is attempting to break structure and go all the way down here, but I'm saying this previous one did close lower, attempting to move lower, and you have liquidity towards the downside. So that previous weekly low is my first objective. I'm guessing. Oh no, wait. There it is. I was like, I'm guessing the market's not open because it's holiday, but nah, it's open. Okay, now real quick on the daily. Daily, obviously, we're pretty bearish. Okay, but now if we go look at the daily, you can see this really big imbalance to the upside here. Okay, we're gonna mark out that imbalance. Okay, give me one sec. OCD about some things. All right, and on this markup, I mean on this imbalance, I want you guys to look at it. Look at the way that I marked it up. Okay, from low to high. All right, basically this is a range in itself. Okay, this is a trading range in itself, and what I would like to see is a previous daily high swept within that range. Now, it doesn't have to happen given that a previous daily high has been swept within the premium side of this bullish imbalance, right? It's in the premium, the 50% and above. We swept that previous daily high. So now that high to me gets my attention because I don't believe we're going to go beyond it. But what I do believe, if you look at it on the 4-hour perspective, I do believe we are missing liquidity here. If we're looking at this range from here to there, 50% and above, we are missing liquidity. So being that it is Columbus Day, I do believe that the liquidity will end up being this previous daily high here. And potentially, you know, we'll come up here. And then that's when we'll start getting that distribution towards this previous weekly opening gap. Okay, so give me one sec. Okay. So in the daily, I'm asking myself, in which direction are we printing? Yes, but I'm also considering on the daily, I am considering the current 4-hour structure, right? So if we were bearish, I'd be looking for more lows, and it wouldn't be incorrect to look for the next low, but that is already my weekly objective, right? So I'm not going to set another weekly or second weekly objective. That is already like the main objective that I see us going towards overall this week. But right now, yeah, just looking at liquidity, if you look at the 1 hour, it is attempting to distribute, but yeah, you guys won't see me push a single button today. Just an FYI. Right, price action may walk itself a little bit higher, but for the most part, I am anticipating price action to just fuck around for quite a bit. Okay, we got a nice gap that did open. It's a really big gap. Okay, I don't really see us going beyond that new week opening gap today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe throughout the week. But as of right now, this is a level of support, and I'm looking for liquidity as resistance, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with the dollar. Now, before we move on with the dollar, I'm gonna bring this up. So everyone's on the same page. Okay, USD, as you guys can see. Okay, we got an all-day bank holiday. It's Columbus Day today. Tuesday, we don't really have anything, as you guys can see. I mean, there might be some very low impact news on Tuesday, but besides that, there's no red folders. Okay, Wednesday, we have core PPI. Okay, we have PPI and FOMC. Just be aware that this isn't the FOMC that we wait for once a month. Like, this isn't the high impact one. There's always two sets. Okay, there's the one that's not high impact, which is the first one of the month, this one, and then there's the main one, which takes place in the middle of the month after CPI week. Okay, I think it's the one following CPI week. So it may be next week. Okay, but it's not this one. Okay, you may get some impact out of this, but in like 3 months that I've came to my chart at this time for this meeting, I can't tell you guys how many times nothing's happened. Right? I think the one time I missed it did do a little something, but I mean, more often than not, I'm not gonna be devoting too much time into this FOMC in minutes. Okay, the 8:30 PPI, that might be a pretty good impact. So I am gonna be trading the 9:30 open on Wednesday. So you guys will yeah, we'll be live. So we'll run the live at 9 a.m. and then I'll see you guys for the opening, and maybe we'll catch a nice trade here on Wednesday. Thursday, we have CPI this week. Okay, very high impact news CPI this week. Maybe this Wednesday trade I hold through to CPI. We'll see where we're at in price. But CPI is where I'm setting. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat for some reason. CPI is really where I'm going to be looking for my main move for the week. So I'm not gonna waste too much money Monday, Tuesday. Okay, maybe Tuesday I'll get back into it, not throwing any income or any capital at the bank holiday. We'll look back Tuesday tomorrow. I'm gonna set my weekly objective, daily objectives, and everything with you guys as well. So, but today I'm gonna leave it everything blank for tomorrow. Okay, then Friday, to close it up, we have 10 a.m. consumer sentiment. Okay, so Friday again, we're gonna be waiting for that as well. And I mean, you guys know, usually around 10 a.m. on Fridays there's a reversal, so it just, this one just makes sense. Okay, Friday we will be waiting for that. That's if we're not done by the week. We're not done for the week during CPI. Okay, so Leonidas, that's a cool name. What's up, brother? All right, cool, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, so in terms of the US dollar, I'm just gonna wait for this high right here to become my previous daily high. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. There's got to be some level of liquidity here that we sweep. We may be in this one, but I'm gonna stick with this. What's good, Fabio? What's good? Okay, so we'll leave it there. Oh, actually, I don't know why there's no gap here, but you can clearly see one right here. So just beware that there is a gap right there. I don't know why it's not visible on the 4-hour, but it is definitely there on the 1-hour. Okay, beware of the gap. We're gonna wipe out the chart, start from scratch. NASDAQ on a monthly perspective, we did close below the monthly imbalance. Okay, that's a good sign. We did sweep previous monthly lows. 1 second there. Boom. Previous monthly lows taken. Okay. Now, I asked my students this yesterday, and I'm going to ask you guys as well. Now, for my students in my private community, don't answer this question. All right, for the ones who aren't in my private community, answer this question for me in the chat. When price action trades into a weekly imbalance, what do you do? What are you looking for? Let me ask you guys that. When price action trades into a weekly imbalance, what do you guys look for? let's use this bearish imbalance as an example that we're trading into now on Nasdaq. What do you guys do now that price, or what are you guys looking for now that price traded into this bearish insufficiency in this bearish structure? What do we look for? Or what are you looking for? I guess not necessarily what are we looking for, but what are you necessarily looking for? Okay, I'm looking for a schematic. I mean, this is a bearish imbalance. I'm going to say you're looking for a schematic. Okay. Or a close below the imbalance. Okay. This is kind of a difficult question. That's why I was asking. You know, I got a lot of blanks yesterday too, so don't worry, guys. Not even like my private community knew that. All of them knew this answer. Only a few of them did. So one of the biggest things that you want to do in a weekly imbalance, okay, because it is a weekly insufficiency, I like to wait for either weekly or daily liquidity to be ran. Okay, I like to wait for daily or weekly liquidity to be taken within that imbalance area. Does that make sense? In a weekly imbalance like the ones you guys are seeing now, I would like to see some level of liquidity sweep on a weekly or daily within that imbalance, or as we're trading into or away from that imbalance. I would like to see liquidity taken. Okay, because I don't believe that we're just gonna get into it and then just dip really fast and aggressively. Like usually we trade into something and then, you know, we develop price in that area, especially if it's a weekly institutional zone. Then what we look for is liquidity to be taken within those higher time frame areas. Okay, so Nasdaq, I'm gonna go real quick here. Nasdaq's from this high to this low. Well, actually for that low. Okay, and then you got a gap right here. That we traded to already. You also have this fat ass imbalance here, which I am going to mark out because it is pretty significant. I do want to see us get into 50% and above of that imbalance as well. Not to fill it up necessarily, but to create some liquidity within that imbalance and then take it out. So I'm going to mark that out, 50% and above of that weekly range. Here comes the daily. On the daily, there's quite a bit of gaps. Okay, on the daily, I'm going to mark out these gaps. So we got a gap right here. Okay, it's a pretty interesting gap that we can come mitigate out of, and I guess look for support to come down here and then continue pushing higher above this high right here. Okay, so there's that gap right there. We have another gap over here that we're kind of just trading into now. Imbalance here on the daily lines up perfectly with this gap right here. There's a current weekly gap, and it's this one right here. It's pretty significantly large as well. So I'm not going to be marking it out as of yet, but just know that, be aware that it is there. Okay, another gap there and a final gap up at top. So I believe that these are the most relevant areas within this range currently. That's a previous weekly high right there, so I'm going to also mark that out. Boom, previous weekly high, internal liquidity. There's a gap right there at that. Oh, damn, that's beautiful. So actually I'm going to move this guy over here and this guy right there. Okay, there's a gap right on that previous. Just know that it's there, but there's a gap right there, right on that previous weekly high. And an imbalance, I don't know, that looks too good. You know what I mean? Like, that looks really, really good. That area really gets my attention right here. That specific price point, 15,461. I'm not saying we're going to get up there this week. I'm not saying we're going to go up there now, but that is an area that really gets my attention in terms of internal liquidity and just alignment, right? There's a lot of things that align within that zone. Man, sorry, I'm getting kind of sleepy. I woke up tired today. Not gonna lie to you guys. One sec, one stretch. Yeah, in the winter I get more tired. I noticed that. I'm like having a hard time getting out of bed. I guess it's not so much because I'm tired, but more because I'm cold as hell. Anyways, the opening did take place. As you guys can tell, like, it's not gonna be the most exciting, exhilarating opening, but because there is 10 of you here, something is gonna take place today, and it is a giveaway. Okay, I know I haven't announced it. I know I haven't been doing much announcements on this at all, but my boot camp here on the 28th and 29th of October is coming up, guys. My boot camp on the 28th and 29th of October is coming up. Okay, and it is going to be a boot camp on all the concepts that you guys see me teaching. Okay, it is going to be a boot camp that I've presented in front of a lot of people already. I've presented it to a couple of individuals that have already shown quite a bit of results. I presented it to our last in-person boot camp, and this is the final time I'm going to be showing this presentation before I update it and change it. So as I come up with these different revisions of it, the previous one is going to go on discount. So this is the sell on this previous presentation. Okay, I'm going to be doing a 2-day boot camp, 2 to 3 hours each day. Okay, and we're going to be going over everything that you guys see me mark out every single day. In case you guys ever wanted to see how I mark out price, why I do the things that I do, this is the best opportunity to do so. And I've been giving away a lot of seats on it so far. I think I've given away like 3 or 4 seats already. So I'm going to give away one more seat today. I'm going to give away one more seat today. Give me just 1 second. Just 1 sec. One sec. All right. You know what? I got this. All right, guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a quote. Okay. And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to write or type out the whole quote. So I'm going to type it out unfinished with a blank. And what I need you guys to do is fill in the blank, but it won't count as an answer unless you type in the entirety of the quote. Okay. And I've said this quote already. I've mentioned this quote already. But now you guys get to have, I mean, I've already given the answer before. So the quote is, you care about other people's opinions so much because you don't blank. And it's 3 words. You care about others' opinions so much because you don't blank. That's 3 words. If you already got a seat on the bootcamp, please don't. Please don't participate. But if you don't have a seat in the bootcamp, this is your opportunity. It is priced at $350. Okay. It's priced at $350, and you guys are able to get that access to it for free if you get this correctly. Okay, so I got a couple of answers that slid through. You care about other people's opinions so much because you don't take yourself serious. Ooh, so fucking close. Because you don't. Yeah, that is 3 words too. Ooh, that was really close. It's not it. Fabio says you care about other people's opinions so much because you don't value your own. Fabio, you got it. Let's go. Yeah. Because you don't trust yourself. Ooh, Daryl almost got it too. Yeah, Fabio, you got it, bro. Good shit. Good shit. Message me on Telegram, bro. Message me on Telegram. I'm gonna drop you the registration link for that Zoom. It is going to be October 28th. The time, right? The time I will start a chat just for you guys. I'm gonna start a chat just for you guys, so that way everybody has access to this chat, and you guys will know like specific time and place. I mean, time and detail. Place is gonna be Zoom, so you don't have to worry about that. But specific time, it's more than likely going to be in the morning, Eastern time, morning. But yeah, no, good job, guys. I'm gonna keep doing these, so keep tuning in. I want to keep giving. Before the boot camp starts, I'm gonna be giving away. I'm gonna be giving away another seat this week, and next week I'm gonna give away 2 more. Okay, and then the week of, I'll give away another 2. So we're giving away quite a bit of seats. I want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to win one of the chances to get this boot camp. Guys, this is the same presentation that I have for my in-person boot camp. The same one. So if you ever missed or unable to go to the in-person boot camps or the in-person masterminds, this is your chance to receive the same information. Okay, and receive the same presentation. So congrats to all the winners that we've had so far. We're going to continue to run up more winners. Just know tomorrow, guys, be ready for a quote. Either tomorrow or Wednesday, just be ready for a quote, and I'm going to give another seat away. All right? Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, guys. So, in terms of NASDAQ, you guys can see that we are using that low as support. What I'm thinking is going to happen is something similar to what we saw on DXYs. Maybe we'll create some internal liquidity today for us to come back to one more time and then like take that launch higher. It may not happen exactly like that, but it is something that I'm currently looking at, because some bank holidays you will catch moves. I've seen it a lot. I've seen people catch moves on bank holidays, but you can tell that this one's not gonna move too much at all. Okay, if it was to move at all, it would have done it by now, right? And so for me, you know, this new week opening gap and this previous weekly opening gap is going to be a huge effect on today's price, meaning we're not going to trade beyond either level. We're going to be stuck, basically. I see us today stuck between these 2 levels right here, these 2 blue boxes. I really don't see price action trading beyond them. So therefore, the liquidity buildup today is going to be pretty strong. I'm going to look inside this previous area of accumulation below this current price action. Maybe we'll fill up the gap. What I'm thinking more is, if we're looking at it from a range perspective, we may get into 50%, but I don't think we'll go all the way 50% or below of this range. Now, when it comes to the other gap on the upside, at least for me, we're gonna make it to 50%. Okay, so I do see us filling up this gap to 50%, but not much beyond that. I don't know if I've seen these gaps getting filled up all the way, especially on a bank holiday. So right now on NASDAQ, at least, I don't believe so, but it's a possibility, like 100%, right? It's 100% a possibility. So Let's go over to Dow. Let's look at Nasdaq on the hourly. Yeah, I mean, it just swept all these equal lows, traded into this area, and now we're just trading up a little bit higher. Yeah, look at that wick to the downside, that 930 open. There it goes. I'm personally not trading today, but that is a pretty good imbalance right there. Balance range. Maybe we trade back down into it and then continue pulling up higher. If it is your type of environment to trade, don't mind me. You know what I mean? Like, do what you want to do and what your plan tells you to do. Okay. Wow, Dow did move. Nice. Okay, so let's look at Dow, and again, we're gonna do the same thing. On Mondays, we're gonna wipe out the chart, and then we're gonna keep going. Okay, so Dow just took out so much liquidity. Weekly has a really large gap, and range has a very, very large range. Honestly, from this previous high though, not from that one. I'd look from this previous high. Very large range, so I'm not gonna mark it out yet. Dow right here, from that gap, this one right here. I do believe that this is going to be a factor to take into consideration today and this week. This gap on the weekly, yeah. Okay, that gap on the weekly there, and then we have a fat ass gap today. I mean, these are all weekly gaps. This is pretty impressive. Okay. Okay, those are our two gaps right here on the weekly. Now on the daily, we have an insufficiency here on the left. And you guys can see we already kind of dipped into it today. Not just that, but we came down low enough to immediately rebalance price. Okay, what does that mean? Let's take this other one off for a second. When price action, if price action would not have came that low, we would have left an imbalance here, right? Between the two candles. We would have left an insufficiency there. But because price action went all the way down into the high, that previous high, and rebalanced, it basically rebalanced this whole range here, right? So it's called an immediate rebalance. And you can see we came immediately rebalanced price and are launching forward. When you see an immediate rebalance, you usually want to see a strong pull away from it. Okay, so just like that, actually, this is a really good reaction. I'm actually going to mark out that daily insufficiency one more time. I think it's relevant, personally. I know there's a lot of shit on my chart, guys, but bear with me. Yeah, Dow is on the premium end of that range, right? It's on the premium 50% and above of that range, and in premium you can anticipate some level of rejection. So again, I'm not going to be surprised if a lot of these gaps are left unfilled. Zach said, curious to see how it plays out being there in a new weekly opening gaps. Yeah. Dow is still got 2 above it. Nasdaq's at least got 1 below it to help it go higher. Dow has 2 to overcome. So we'll see how Dow ends up trading. But I believe one of these two is going to get blasted right through. Personally, I think one of these two may get blasted right through. Maybe respected with the bodies, but blasted through. Right? Maybe this top one for some of this internal liquidity. I don't know. But if we're looking at this range, this daily range from this high, from our daily high to our new low, okay, that range right there, you guys can see 50% and above. We already took out some internal liquidity, but again, we can make it a little bit more beyond. Nasdaq respecting this daily insufficiency here on the right hand side. I mean, on the left hand side, you guys can see that inverted imbalance, and look at the 4-hour just respecting the bodies of that overall. So 50% and above of this is this high right here. We are still trading higher. I don't believe that we're gonna, take that high out today, but it's possible. That's the direction in which we're printing overall. But for me, I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna chill the hell out, not look for really much today. I'm not gonna rush into my week. Would you still count the one for NAS, the weekly opening gap for this week? Would you still count one for NAS? I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, like, why don't I have it mark out on NAS? Just because I didn't want to put too much shit on my chart. So yeah, no, but we already went over NAS. So anyways, we're respecting the low here, this imbalance here on Dow. And yeah, like I said, personally, I could see us go Dow, fill up that gap. Nasdaq is on its way to filling up that gap. Again, it's not that I don't see them filling up the gap. It's just I just don't see us trading too far beyond it. You know what I mean? I really just don't see us trading too far beyond it. So we shall see. Dow's already getting that rejection after it reached 50%. But yeah, so today I'm really just looking for liquidity buildups. NAS is getting out of that range on the lower time frames. Yeah, it just pulled right out of that range. Yep. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you guys see a trade and meet your criteria, definitely shoot your trades. Personally, just gonna stay out. Let's go to, I'm not gonna do EU today just because, again, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do a top down on EU after the opening price tomorrow, just because we don't have any news tomorrow. So it will be a pretty day to review EU. But today today I don't really see much happening here. Right, DXY traded back into that gap. Right, as we mentioned, that gap on DXY is going to be a nice level of support. But yeah, 1 second. But yeah, in terms of Nasdaq and Dow, very similar, right? Just looking for liquidity buildup. Nasdaq to me looks a little bit cleaner in terms of longs after we take out this current daily low. And same with Dow, but I don't see Dow coming down that low. Maybe. It'd be better if it didn't have some bullish divergence there. Okay, and today we're gonna go look at some stuff that we don't really look at much. And it's BTC. Yes, sir, BTC. Jeez, I haven't looked at this chart in forever. Okay, so you guys know that, let's go 3 month, half year. Interesting price action, honestly. We closed extremely bullish last half of the year. On a, they do have an imbalance here on the monthly. We are like in bullish order flow essentially on the very higher time frames. On the 3 month, you guys can see this insufficiency right here. So a really good objective for current shorts would be that low. Which direction is current price action printing? Remember, don't look at the current candle that is printing. Boom. This current candle is printing towards the downside. Most logical area is this low right here, right? So, okay. Then we go down to the monthly perspective, and you guys can see some slight distribution above this high right here. Boom. Then you get some slight distribution here. Boom. Okay. Now, some nice shorting opportunities. I'm still holding, actually. I'm still holding my longs. I still have quite a bit of Bitcoin from these imbalances. We could take out the whole thing. The thing is like, yeah, I mean, we could go below here and I won't sell a thing. Gonna continue to stack some more BTC. At the moment, yeah, at the moment, I don't really see much other than the short, right? The shorts into these previous daily lows or weekly lows. And then you're holding since ever. Yeah, bro, same. I've been holding for a really long time too. But it is what it is. It's not something that I continuously look at, because I used to keep track of how much my wallet had, and it would bother me seeing like even like $500 go down, $100 go down, and I'm like, ah. So I stopped looking at it. I stopped looking at it overall over the time period of time. But I do toss, gradually toss my average. I average in pretty occasionally below the lows. Once we take out lows, that's when I usually average in to the crypto market. But right now I am seeing shorts in terms of price action. It's not a really good area to be buying more, so I'm gonna be waiting for some bullish order flow. For right now I am bearish, and I want to see these lows getting clapped. Yeah, we're taking out some previous liquidity, internal liquidity into this imbalance, then some liquidity here. Price action just melted down. I mean, look at this fat ass move even on a bank holiday. That's why you love cryptos. But in terms of targets, these lows right here, right, those lows look very attractive. They look like they're gonna be taken out here pretty soon. So those lows make the most sense for me in terms of targets right now. So if you do trade BTC, that it is something that you look at, I like the shorts. Yeah, BTC takes a little bit longer. I've seen people trade it on the 4 hour, 1 hour, and do it very successfully. But yeah, definitely hold the line. Another one that I wanted to go off of, and this one's actually currency. GJ. GJ. I haven't looked at GJ in a really long time. But if we're gonna look at GJ, we need to look at the yen index. Okay, so I'm gonna look for, I think it's like 6Y. What was it? I'm just gonna type in yen. Stock funds futures index. Forex? Nah. Oh, the yen. Oh, there it is. 6J. It was 6. Okay. 6J. And let's look at the continuous contract, futures contract. Nah, let's look at the continuous contract. Damn, the yen kept dropping. Look at that. Yeah, so I guess China has like 0 interest rates on their loans currently, and they've had 0 interest rates since for a while now, since I guess this big ass drop started happening. But yeah, I mean, now obviously I wanted to see a turnaround, but this bearish order flow is still going. You guys can see like we're hitting all-time lows. So GJ, essentially, if the yen loses and devalues, then what will that mean for GJ? What will happen to GJ if the yen continues to drop? what will happen in GJ. And yeah, we can look at gold and silver. Actually, it was on my list to go look at towards the end. BTC 1 hour fair value gap looks pretty good to continue down. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Bulls. Exactly. So now let's go to GBP, JPY. Okay, and we're gonna look at it on a higher time frame perspective. Okay, so on a 3 month, I would want to see the previous monthly low taken. Okay, that previous quarterly low taken. Now the new quarter just barely opened, but that's the previous quarterly low. Okay, and I'm actually gonna put an alert right there. Previous quarter low. Wow, shit. I meant to put that in caps. And we're gonna actually mark it out. On a monthly, we look ready to just pop off, but yeah, we did take out previous monthly lows on a monthly. Give me a second. Make sure that this is visible in all time frames. Okay, we're now on a weekly perspective. I remember trading all of this. Jesus Christ. Wow. Look how far we've come. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, GG will fly. For sure. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I think that we're getting pretty ready to get into that soon. It has been moving pretty choppy, right? But in terms of longs, it does look like it's ready to long for these previous daily highs right here. Weekly highs. Very equal top right there on the highs. A lot of back and forth and struggle to move higher. So I'm going to be very cautious and aware of that. Let's look a little bit more in the daily. But this wick right here, which was our previous quarterly low, we did come to about 50% of it. So let's see what ended up taking place in there. Okay, we came into this rejection block. You guys can see this rejection block right here. We come right into it, and then we end up breaking above this bearish order flow right here. So once we came into that rejection block, that really is sufficient enough for me to go and move higher. We don't really need to come much lower than that necessarily. Okay. We are trading within an insufficiency right now. Okay, we're trading within that bearish insufficiency right now. We'll see what happens there. But in terms of longs, I feel like these are the most probable areas. Give me 1 second. Guys, what is Columbus Day? Can somebody drop it in the chat? Like, what is it? Sorry, I wasn't born in this country, so I'm not very well educated here. But what the hell is Columbus Day? Yeah, I used to Zach, to answer your question, I used to swing GJ quite a bit. GJ was the first asset. GJ, GA were the main assets that I would swing. And I would swing them hard for weeks. Yeah, it's GJ is the one for sure. When it moves and it pays very well. So in terms of the 4 hour or daily, so daily still bullish, 4 hour. Fat ass gap. Fat gap right here. It's a really ugly gap that we still need to get. If we want to see bullishness, we need to trade above that gap. And as of right now, this is the previous area of accumulation. And what it's missing is what? What is this previous area of accumulation missing? If we want to go long from here, what is this previous area of accumulation missing? . Everybody with the last name Columbus takes a break from work. That was Fabian. Fabio said Columbus was the traveler that discovered North America. What? I did not fucking know that. Dude, I need to go back to school for sure. Koji says they celebrate Columbus colonizing America. Don't know why they robbed us. Okay. And then commemorates the arrival of Christopher Columbus to the shores of America. That's interesting. My boy's yeah, I kind of figured you weren't American. Yeah, I kind of figured your name was very much not American. Every time I say your name, I try not to say it with my Utah accent. Columbus is the Spanish guy that discovered America. He arrived to Cuba. But oh wow, that's interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I just didn't know why there was a bank holiday, but my kids still go to school. I was really not gonna send them to school. I was wondering, like, should I send this guy to school? But all right. Two things that we're missing here. Oh, okay, wait. Somebody answer my question. Zach, liquidity, yes. Daryl, imbalance. Both of them, yes. We're missing both an imbalance and liquidity. So now, Daryl, to answer your question, the daily has the imbalance right here on the left. So in the grand scheme of things, we're not necessarily missing the insufficiency. We are, although, missing the insufficiency and the breakaway here. So yes, insufficiency here is missing, but necessarily not needed. It would be the most ideal though. Okay. Liquidity, yes, liquidity. We're either gonna, today's low is gonna be the liquidity, or this previous daily low right here is gonna end up being the liquidity. Okay, there's two very strong areas that we can come down to. Another one is this one right here. All the way down here, we take out all of this liquidity here, and we end up, riding this daily imbalance here. And in terms of the weekly imbalance that we did, oh, that's not a daily, that's a 4 hour. So I'm gonna mark this out, 4 hour imbalance. Okay, so there's those two. These are the two areas of accumulation that get my attention in terms of GJ for longs. We'll see what ends up happening. The guy from Latin schools, that's funny. GJ, yeah. It's setting up for some nice longs, guys. It's setting up for some nice longs. Not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna put my alert down here so I can see what GJ is up to. Maybe something that we keep up with a little bit more often. Yeah, as you guys can see, price action is kind of lingering around wherever it's at today. Gold on a weekly, I guess it did move quite a bit. Friday, 1 second. Okay, yeah, I guess it did move quite a bit today. I wonder why. Like, what did happen at the beginning of the hour that we got these fucking fat gaps across the board? So this is Oanda feed, so it's not showing me the gap. So I don't want to be in Oanda because I know for a fact there's a gap right here. Okay, so I don't want to look at oh shit, I went right back to Oanda. Don't want to look at Oanda. Forgot how to type it. Oh, there it is. Forex.com, probably Forex.com. Fuck, no gaps. What the, like, the chat got out of context. Fucking love you guys. All right, let's go to 8 cap. There it is. All right, so I'm gonna use 8 cap for gold, because I didn't think that gold moved that much. So it really surprised me. So it's not that gold moved a lot. It's just that we gapped up hella high. So yeah, beware of this gap. This will be a pretty good area to trade from to move higher if needed. On a weekly perspective, it doesn't look like we want to go higher. Not gonna lie to you guys, on a weekly perspective, it doesn't look like we want to go too much higher. But I will say that within a weekly imbalance, I look for liquidity, daily or intraday liquidity to be taken. So, you know, there is some insufficiencies up there. We shall see how well we end up respecting this imbalance here. But just know that I don't think that it's just going to tap the imbalance and just start dumping right away. I believe that we may be getting the start of a retracement towards these equal highs up here. So Zach, I forget that you're in America, bro. I really still believe that you're in like Canada or something. Yeah, these equal highs right here do get my attention. I'm not saying that we need to get up there, but they do get my attention. This previous area of distribution as well. Yeah. All right. All right. So now I think I looked at it wrong. There it is. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, there it is. 8 cap for silver. Let's go. Alright, silver doing its thing. Man, I haven't marked out silver in a while either. I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm really I'm a real big person on silver. Physically invested into it. Physically and emotionally. I've been waiting for this thing to pop for so long now. I've been waiting for it to get back to like $30-$40 so I can go sell my fucking silver bars. And all my coins. So we got the lows. We took out the lows here. You guys can see this beautiful accumulation. I'm still a part of this accumulation. We're still holding bars from there. We have this nice previous area of accumulation here. You could even say that, let's say, higher high, lower low. Yep. One sec. No breaker. Monthly here. You could even say that this big candle right here is the breaker that, you know, was used to break liquidity. Okay, that whole push up right there, but I'm using the largest body one just for clean markup purposes, not because the rest of it is not a breaker, not because I always mark them out that way. It's literally I just have, I don't know, I have to have a clean looking chart, otherwise it really bothers me. I don't see things clearly when there's a lot of shit on my chart. Okay, so we trade into that breaker, and then we shift market structure higher. Okay, cool. No imbalances. There's a slight imbalance here. We cover it, then we trade higher. Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna wait for that. See if we come back even that low. These are previous monthly lows. Maybe not. Maybe the monthly will continue. We come into a previous area of distribution, distribute above the high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, just to come back, distribute, lower low. A lot of liquidity within this range. If we are looking at this range as bullish, it's like that, 50% and below is right here. And as you can see, we didn't get much of a rejection from here, and we do have a breaker right here, another breaker. So we're gonna keep looking at that on a daily. Yeah, I do think that this thing's gonna continue falling. It may struggle to fall here for a little bit, but I do see this thing still falling. And if we do for some reason get back below, you know, $20 an ounce, I'm gonna be buying more physically. And the way that I buy more, guys, in case you guys don't have this available around you, but I would go to a like pawn shops, because you could usually talk them down the price substantially. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're talking about. They usually always have a guy in there that knows what he's talking about when it comes to metals. But it's cool because you can usually talk your way down. Um, you can usually talk your way down quite a bit. So if you guys ever go look and invest into metals, I highly recommend going to a local pawn shop and starting there. If you don't know anything about it, look at some videos. Make sure that you understand what you're paying for and the type of investment that this is, because you know, if I buy something at $20 and let's say if I buy silver at $20 an ounce right here, okay, and I bought it there and now price action is coming right back and we're barely at 21, I guarantee you're not going to make any money out of that. Okay? Because in physical silver and physical metals, I forget what it's called, the word is called, but there's a price difference. It's like you can say it's the spread, but there's a price difference as to what it is and what you get in the shop. Okay? So they don't sell it at price. They sell it higher than what it's stated. It's usually like $1 or $2 higher. So when it comes to physical silver, it really to me doesn't make sense to let go until, I mean, we get up here, you know, in the 30s, above 30s, you know, 30 and above is where I'm aiming for to let go some of this silver and make sure that this fucking, what is this, 3-year investment, you know, I don't know where it's gonna pay off. So what do you think about NAS longs? What do I think about NAS longs? I think they're good. I think that was the initial bias too. Yeah. I think I marked out an imbalance and then we ended up coming to exactly to that imbalance. There it is. That balanced price range. I marked it out earlier. I'm not sure if everyone got to see that, but that's literally the only area that I would take here. I think Dow too. No, it was just NASDAQ. Created this balanced price range right here. Right? Two imbalances united by one candle in the middle. That's a balanced price range. Yeah. That would have been the only area where I would have taken a long. Now, if I'm looking at liquidity, I'm not really liking liquidity. But hey, I'm just if I was to catch, look, if I was looking for a long, I'd want a long pretty deep in this range, closer to this blue box, and I'd be aiming for the other blue box on the opposite side. Because do I see us trading beyond these two new week opening gaps? Not really. I really don't see us going there. So NASDAQ for me is going to stay beyond, I mean, between these two new week opening gaps. And I personally think that if you are going to look for shorts from the blue box to the blue box, from you're going to look for longs from the blue box to the blue box, there's nothing really that I'd be trading much beyond this price action. And also, I'm just not trading it, you know. But I am going to call it a session, guys, just because, again, it is your guys' favorite holiday. Just kidding. That'll probably offend some people. It is... it's because I saw a lot of hate on it, so I just wanted to fuck with you guys for a second. But it is Columbus Day, and he said not. Yeah, it is Columbus Day, and honestly, this guy kind of ruined our trading day. So he's probably gonna make our trading week a lot better in a way. But I didn't know about today. I woke up kind of wondering. I looked at the economic calendar this morning and I woke up and I was like, should I wake my kids up? Like, should we go wake up the boy or should we? I don't know. We'll see. But I looked it up and I was like, half asleep and I'm looking it up this morning, and apparently his school still has school. So I was just like surprised that the banks are fucking closed, but there's still school. Super weird day. Anyways, you know what's even weirder is that on Thursday and Friday they have off. So they don't have today off, which is an actual holiday, but Thursday and Friday they start their fall break. But neither of those days are a holiday. So I don't fucking know. I'm both ruined. Anyways, love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here today. I will see you guys tomorrow for our technical Tuesdays, and there I will set my weekly objectives. I know today I didn't really set weekly or daily objectives, but I did kind of walk through how I look for those, and I looked for them across multiple assets. So I hope that I was helpful for some of you who are looking at those assets. Again, sorry it's just a slower day today, but I wanted to hop on here because I didn't want some of you to, throw so much money at the table today. I'd like to be here not just as an example, but to be here as a community and lead as an example as a community. You know what I mean? And all of you guys are an example to other individuals that probably blew their fucking accounts today, that risked, a challenge, that risked their personal capital today. And I want you guys to be that example for other people around you, that you guys aren't going to be over here just fucking throwing money with lower probabilities at the market. Now, I'm not saying you can't be profitable today. There's definitely profitability points. Just know what you're doing. Okay, be the better example for this industry. And with that, guys, I'll let you guys go. Clap easy, trade responsibly, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Technical Tuesdays, all right? Peace. And yeah, Koji and everyone else, appreciate you guys for the kind words. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Guys, before you go, before you hop off, make sure you press that like button, that share button. Share this call with anybody who may benefit from it. Make sure you like this video if there's something that you learned today. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Peace.